Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Ultimate Texas Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Con Radical. Got my good buddy here, Suit Steve, as always. Fireball Bill.
Always here.
Ducks Unlimited. Jason McKey here. This is going to be a phenomenal one. Check us out. We are
look at you.
back.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Man.
Where are we back from?
We're coming back from the.
Some of us
dark
are back.
side.
Yes, we are.
We
Not sure if all of us
We've
are
had a
back.
fantastic day. We've been doing a lot of stuff. We're in the high holy days of Texas history here. We're all about conservation. Again, Texas history, taking care of our neighbors here in Texas. That's what we do, right? And we're here with Jason McKey. So I am excited because I love the conservation of Texas. I love duck hunting. I love taking care of our own, and you've kind of got it all there, right? So thank you for coming.
Man,
Jason.
welcome. Thank y'all for
Great.
having me.
You're the guy. So you've done a lot for us with charities and such. So
Tell us where you coming from.
So
Tell us about yourself.
I guess I now live in Katy, Texas, with my wife and 3 kids.
Whoop.
I've
Me
got
too.
I've got an 8-year-old.
I'm here with
All
my
right.
wife and his 3 kids.
oh man, it's getting interesting.
If I'd have known that, I'd have brought them with me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've got a wife, 3 kids. We live in Katy. Originally grew up Southeast Texas, Port Neches area.
Oh, what? My wife was Miss Port Neches. You know that?
Really?
Indians.
Yes.
Neches Indians. Yeah.
State champs. We
Yes,
just
yes,
won.
that's
You
correct.
come inside the Republic
Just
Boot Company. I got an Indian up there. That is for the state champion Port Neches Indians.
Yes.
That's correct.
5A Division II state champion
Outstanding.
football.
Throw it down.
Yep.
We call this, again, we never talked about this, the center of the
universe.
Yes.
And these things happen on air right here.
Good people come together.
That's right.
But thank y'all for having me and,
Yeah.
what you do for Ducks Unlimited.
Yes.
I've worked for DU for 19 years. And, one of the things that we strive to do here in this region is to, seek out local Texas businesses and partners in order to, I guess really and truly form partnerships. And what we've done here with the Republic Boot Company, I think is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, thank you.
you know-
support. You guys, we started talking early days, and we're like, we can start doing something. Then it kind of blossomed into this thing where it became a real symbiotic relationship between what you guys are doing with your galas and your different events.
Yeah, we're offering, a his and her boot package in every one of our events, and it's been something that is, really just taking our events, I think, to another level. You can only offer so many Argentina and Africa and local hunting trips, and when you can get the husband and the wife involved with the boot package and the whole Republic boot experience, it's just
next
something.
level.
That's the idea.
It's a next level deal.
Exactly. So what we're trying to do here is to have these packages where they come in and we can have a full Texas experience. You can bring your wife in here, and we can have like a Texas history moments, and then we can go through the design and fit aspect, show them actually how we make the boots, design some suits and cool stuff like that we do. So yeah, I think it's a really awesome relationship.
It's something that's worked out well. We've sold quite a few packages now, and the money that we're making off of that is going to help further wetlands and waterfowl conservation. If you look at Texas and you look at the Texas Gulf Coast, we spent over $100 million here in the Gulf Coast of Texas. In the 2 counties, over $100 million. $100 million.
Let that sink in. That's a lot of money.
When you look at North America's waterfowl, you need to make sure that you take care of them at the breeding grounds and the wintering grounds.
Right.
And here in Texas are the wintering grounds. And so we at Ducks Unlimited are making sure that we're ensuring a successful nesting cycle by getting the birds back up north and wanting to make sure they have enough habitat here in Texas. Unfortunately, if you look around Texas, you look at Katy, it used to be some of the best duck hunting in the world. But unfortunately, there's a lot of
When I was a kid, Jason, not to interrupt you, but that's what we do here on the
interrupt me all you want.
Interrupter in chief.
Interrupting rude cow.
Sorry. When I grew up, we used to go to Katy, and I used to hate duck hunting because we'd go there and it was cold. But I loved it. At that time, I hated it because we're in the cold water, but we're sitting there where the Amazon places now, and it just makes me so mad.
Yep.
To see like all of that urban sprawl going out on those wetlands that we used to hunt, and that's how we grew up. I can't bring
100%.
my kids there because, again, the more that you sprawl out, the tighter these hunting leases go, if you actually have those, and these kids can't go there because it becomes a corporate deal and it becomes more expensive, and it destroys our entire culture.
It does. And one of the cool things about Ducks Unlimited is not only do we work on private lands, but we also work on public lands. And one of the things that we really boast is that on all Texas Parks and Wildlife and National Wildlife or U.S. Fish and Wildlife refuges, we have Ducks Unlimited projects on. So we make sure that we spend our money not only on the Texas Parks and Wildlife WMAs, but also on the National Wildlife, WMAs as well. So we're trying to provide hunting opportunities for, the youth of Texas and just Texas, citizens in general. But unfortunately, urban sprawl has taken effect,
Right? Yeah,
and affected some of that.
we can't stop it, right? I mean, unless I become president of the Republic of Texas,
Which is going to happen, so he's running.
commercial moment. I am looking for your vote for the.
You would have my vote.
Thank you.
So what do you do? What do you do about that? How
Yeah.
do
How do we stop it?
How do we
Yeah.
still conserve this,
So,
this opportunity for people to
unfortunately,
experience these birds?
Or fortunately, I guess, 98% of Texas is privately owned.
Sure.
So a lot of our efforts are focused on working with a participating landowner. And what we do is we take the dollar, when you come to a Ducks Unlimited event, we then take that money and leverage it up to 7 times over. So we work with our participating landowner and other, like the Texas Parks and Wildlife, Natural Resource Conservation Service, other NGOs and government agencies to put money into a pot where we can put habitat on the ground for North America's waterfowl. When you look at the importance of what Texas means to Ducks Unlimited and just wintering waterfowl, you're looking at the Central Flyway as a whole, where the Central Flyway's waterfowl are wintering here in Texas. We winter the majority of the redheads, for which is a duck species for the Central Flyway, are here on the Texas Gulf Coast. And so we're wanting to make sure that we have the ability for them to fulfill their annual life cycle need to go back north.
Have we lost that land though? I mean, at
the end of the day, yes.
they
kind of
fly
tough,
just
right?
somewhere else. I mean, we're losing. Are you guys monitoring the population overall? It says, okay, they're not coming to Katy, but they're going to Brookshire. They're going.
So there has been some, habitat loss. I mean, unfortunately, ducks got, I guess, hooked on a drug called rice. And, Katy was a huge rice producing area. If you go east of town here in Houston, Mont Belvieu, Winnie, there's no longer the rice production that there used to be.
It's crawfish, right?
It's crawfish or, something along, marshland or something along those lines. And that's what Ducks Unlimited is trying to do, is work with the landowners to keep their property in waterfowl habitat, whether it be moist soil or rice or whatever it may be,
that answers my question.
throughout the
So
wintering
what is a
process.
participating
That makes
landowner? What does
sense.
that mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
a participating landowner would mean someone that owns a piece of property that has agreed to
Yes.
keep the waterfowl environment in at least a portion of their property.
In a portion of their property. And, what we ask the landowner to do is to keep it, in waterfowl habitat per se, with water on the landscape through about March. Because in March, most of the waterfowl have started moving back north into the breeding grounds, into Canada and the upper U.S. So, we've more or less fulfilled our our portion of the annual life cycle need by March. And, then we can turn it back into, rice production, crawfish production, whatever. And you can still crawfish produce, those waterfowl areas.
Because I know you guys kind of started as like hunting, back in I guess the 30s. Something
So
like
1937, Ducks Unlimited was formed by a group of, concerned hunters and sportsmen. When you look at Ducks Unlimited, we're 95%, 96%, a hunter organization. Conservationists are the biggest as supporters of, conservation. When you look at it, hunters. Without the hunters, we wouldn't have the property or the land.
Very important, though. I interrupt you again.
Go right ahead.
Is that most people think that hunters are just trying to decimate the land. Hunters are actually the biggest conservators.
The biggest consumers and
they
contributors.
conserve the land. Honestly, I mean,
Yes.
like we want to keep the lands I think the hunters are the biggest
pristine
environmentalists.
and yeah, sure.
Biggest environmentalist here in America.
Yeah, and without the support of local hunters, the conservation work that we do here across Texas and even North America wouldn't be possible. So we're very lucky that we have the supporters that we have that participate.
Because I've heard that like 50% of all of America has actually been drained. Some of these marshlands.
The resources or what?
Yeah, no, just drained. I mean, like you take like the in Florida, you're draining the
swamps
swamps
yeah.
and stuff
Sure.
like that to actually make farmland or
Wow.
other things. 50%.
and I don't know if that's the number right, but you look at the prairie pothole region of the country, which is North Dakota, South Dakota, even into Canada, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and you have government agencies that are working with farmers to subsidize their land and drain their lands for farming and different other
I was
practices.
going to say, does this behoove them in some capacity?
It does.
They do this? Okay.
It
So
does.
they receive some type of benefit. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But those swamplands, even though it might seem like a wasted resource, is also recontributing back to the aquifers, recontributing to the floodplains, especially
Right
here
on.
in Houston, right? So we have massive flooding. If we didn't have some of these areas, it would just massively flood us.
Exactly.
And also the clarity of the water and all
Yep.
those kinds of things, right?
And that's what a lot of our habitat work does is, people don't understand that wetlands are nature's more or less filters. Right. And so all the water is filtered through wetlands. And so, our main focus, of course, is ducks and geese, waterfowl. But our work also benefits a myriad of, species, not excluding, us as humans.
Right. Sure.
And so, our wetlands filter our water, filter everything that, we drink on a daily basis.
Yeah. I'm a big environmentalist. I know that it doesn't sound, I'm an old guy, but
it's
I
an oxymoron,
really am.
but it's not.
I
mean,
cannot
it is what it
stand
is.
driving to my deer lease there north of Fredericksburg and seeing like just houses on top of like the hills there in my precious hill country of Texas, that kind of stuff.
We were driving through Austin the other day.
Oh man, yeah.
And we were going through this little kind of canyon valley thing, and he looked up and just saw that all these houses. And like 6 years ago, when we had a business there, and we were driving through there, and it was just amazing. And now you see these houses and condos and all this and apartments.
Right.
He hadn't been there in a while, and when he saw it, he was
Hurts my
just
heart,
he,
man.
he yes, he
talking
definitely
about
he was
PK's
definitely
area?
heartsick when he saw
Hurts
that.
my heart.
It
Hurts
hurt
my
him.
heart. I mean that is pure Texas country land.
Yeah, it's
so
Beautiful, but it's
So we need to preserve it. So what drove you to this, Jason? I mean, you've got a passion for it. You've been doing this for a long time. I mean, what's your journey
what's your
there?
background?
So at one point, my family owned one of the most exclusive piece of property in Texas. They're off of Trinity Bay. When we owned it, it was called Rich Haven. It's now called the Cajun Outback. It has since been owned by the Delhome family and Methodist Hospital. And so I kind of grew up within a hunting culture, hunting background. And really, when I was in college and in school, it's just a passion that I had was waterfowl, hunting, going after ducks. I didn't really understand what Ducks Unlimited was until I got involved with the local college chapter there at Lamar University. And I guess kind of all is history after that when I learned about Ducks Unlimited and all those kind of things.
That's very cool. So are you just ducks, or you do some other stuff? Are you deer hunter?
I love ducks, but I will make an
It's
admission
just
now.
cold for me. Like I just feel swampy.
I love
nasty.
ducks, but
I've got a bad memory. Like
I am mad at deer.
okay,
And so
I'm mad at pigs. That's why I'm mad at pigs.
I don't really shoot pigs per se, but my hunting, I guess right now
going
is
there.
We're not going there. There's a few things that can be said on
Yes, there is.
but
I don't rent them either.
I love. We're not going to go there either.
No, we're not.
But I love waterfowl hunting, always will. But my passion right now is deer hunting. And it's something
Deer
that
hunting, yeah, okay.
It's something that I can do with my son.
Well, that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
easier, right?
Yeah.
I love duck hunting, but you got to be prepared, right?
Yep.
You got to have the blind. You got to get out there. You got to be comfortable. You got to get the dogs. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's the coolest thing, but it's a lot.
And it's the
a
moment
lot.
thing too, as well. So.
Yeah, you got to get.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot into it, and I manage clubs for, I guess it was 15 years, and there's just a ton of time and effort
Right.
that goes into making sure water levels are here or there, and making sure you can even get water. And, as my kids have gotten a little bit older, my middle child has Down syndrome, and, duck hunting is not really conducive to him at this point.
Right.
But deer hunting is incredible. And so I've, had the opportunity to work with him and, in a deer blind, and it's something that's worked out, something he loves
It's
to do.
quiet. You sit
It's
there
quiet,
watching,
something he can
watching
do.
the thing, yeah.
And, I've been able to be a part of a pretty cool piece of property down in South Texas. And
Oh, very cool.
That's amazing.
That's kind of our passion right now.
So I know you're doing a ton of these different charity events with us as well. So we're helping guys raise a ton of money with that. How many different events do you guys have like every year that these
So when you look
galas or
So when you look across Texas, there's about 200 events across the entire state of Texas.
a year?
A year, within a calendar year, we have about 2,000, a little over 2,000 volunteers.
Are these like galas where people get
So
together?
they're galas. When you look at, Ducks Unlimited, we have everything from small town events all the, way to what we have here at Lakeside Country Club with the Legacy Gala here in Houston. And it's a whole smorgasbord of events. There's, no one event is the same. And that's the cool thing about Ducks Unlimited is that when you look at our events, there's not one that is the same as the other.
Right.
And, the other night we were in Cleveland and had 400 people and raised over $400,000.
Wow.
Man, that's awesome.
In Cleveland, Texas.
Honestly,
That's pretty impressive.
We had a guy come in here from Cleveland that actually won the booth, and he was like, it was one of the coolest events that he's ever been to. His wife was just hugging us, and like it was so cool. We raised money, and we got to hang out together as a couple. And thank you for this experience. We did the whole booths and design, and they're like, this is honestly one of the greatest things we've ever done in our
Well,
life.
it's rewarding for us because we get to see the joy that they get from it,
Yeah.
and then it just comes back to us.
Yes,
It's a big deal.
I think y'all have added a whole different aspect to our events, something that was missing. Like we talked a little bit about Argentina and Africa, but when you look at what is so important to the people here within my region, local people, we have tried to form a partnership with businesses like Turtle Box, like Bird Strap, like the Republic Boot Company, things that you can do local, and we'll talk later.
Yeah.
But things that people can go and experience here locally. Everybody can go to an academy, everybody can go to a Bass Pro Shops, but not everybody can go to a Turtle Box. Not everybody can go to a Republic Boot Company. These are experiences that I think have taken our events and elevated them past other events because it's not the same old dog and pony show at each event. Right. And so, our people, unfortunately, China, Pakistan, some of the merchandise that is unfortunately offered in some of our events, buying power, you have to go those routes.
Yeah.
But when you look at the local Texas-based products, those are the ones that keep us and set us apart from
It's
others.
our people. I mean, the people that are going to these events, trying to conserve all of this wonderful Texas marshlands and other things. I mean, it's important. And I mean, I'm very passionate about it. If I'm going there, I'm going to support a Texas-based business and stuff like that. So it's good. I'm glad we can partner together.
Well, I appreciate y'all and everything that y'all do for us.
Are you guys trying to do more events in the future? What's the future for?
So when you look at the Houston area, we're kind of broken up into a 6-month, event schedule. We'll run more or less from February and then the first part of March, and then we'll shut down for rodeo. Everybody shuts down for rodeo.
That's
in
right.
March.
Yeah.
Except for us.
Yeah, well, exactly. But you shut down for rodeo. It's crazy trying to raise funds against rodeo.
100%.
And then we'll kick off again in April. And, we've got some pretty big events coming up. We have a big event on Friday with the Conroe event, but then we'll kick off April 4th with one of our marquee events at Gordy and Sons Outfitters.
Great guys.
And,
We love them. man. We've
the
partnered
Very
with them
good guys
past.
here in Houston,
Good people.
Texas as well. Gordy and Sons, support them.
And,
Turtle Box guys.
they're incredible people.
Yeah,
Not
great
only
guys.
from the Gordys, but the staff at the store.
Yeah.
They're just incredible people, and being able to work with them is like working with y'all. It's just something
appreciate that, Jason.
takes us to a whole nother level. But we'll run to about the first part of March, or June, and then we'll shut down for summer with everybody else, and then we'll kick back off till into August and run through November, as far about the first week of November, and then it's hunting season time.
There we
And
go.
it's time
We're
to get
on.
out and
We're
go after
on.
some deer and ducks.
Man.
Standing.
We do a lot of hunting boots, and this is very similar to our hunting boot, by the way. So we have stock hunting boots. We just made them with Kevlar lining, so you can't penetrate it with the snake. So this is we always do the boot of the week, Jason. So this is a very cool boot that we did, very similar to our hunting boot, which is a bison bottom, oil tan topped, and a brand, the logo.
Very
for
cool.
The particular customer right on top there. So just good logo on the side. So
you mentioned Turtle Box earlier.
Oh,
Yep.
So
they are.
you partner with them sometimes?
We do.
So do we.
Yeah.
So and here we go.
yeah, so we're starting to carry these right here. So you see
Yeah, thank you.
There's a front of it. Okay.
Yeah, that's the back. To us, it's the front. Has our name on it.
These things are badass.
These are amazing.
we love that.
Indestructible. You can do whatever you want. You drop them from a helicopter. They're not going to blow up on you. Drop them in the ocean. They're going to float in
Say
salt
about a
water.
helicopter?
Set them on fire.
Absolutely, helicopter.
Drop them out of a helicopter?
Yes.
That really,
It may be 10 feet. I don't know, but if it's a helicopter, you can drop them from a helicopter.
Disclaimer, not blah, blah, blah. Man, this is
Anyway,
great.
these are amazing. We use them quite often, and we've had a lot of fun with it. And it's brought us a lot of music, a lot of joy with these guys. So
Lots of music. So, Jason,
yes,
how do we find you? How do we get some more support for Ducks?
So you can go to ducks.org/Texans. You can find out all the information as far as the Texas events coming up. You can find me. Go to McKey at ducks.org. If you want to reach out to me personally, I'm really liking what's happening right now. Looks like it'll be a little
that's
fun.
3. Where's the 4th one?
Well, shoot Steve. That's good.
I'll do one.
Okay.
One
For charity over here.
for charity.
That's right.
All about conservation, man. It is absolutely a passion for me. Like, again, when I grew up, I mean, in my day, seeing Houston as this, the urban sprawl concerns me because of what's going on for my kids. I mean, are we going all the way to San Antonio? And I mean, is the whole thing going to be just a vape shops and all this kind
And
of stuff? It makes me so, seriously, it makes me so mad. Like, it concerns me.
You know, when you look at Ducks Unlimited, we're a volunteer-run, staff-driven organization, and the main driving factor behind a lot of our volunteers is what you just spoke about, is that they want their children, grandchildren, to be able to experience some of the same things that they've been able to experience. And unfortunately, you know, I live in Cinco Ranch, which is in Katy, which used to be a bunch of rice fields,
Right.
and it's now a bunch of houses.
That's my neighborhood.
And so, you know, if we can give back and protect, you know, just 1 acre of land,
Right.
you know, we're giving our children and our grandchildren
Yes, please.
an opportunity to experience some of the same things that we've been able to experience.
So I graduated in 1981, and I was in Dallas. And but we used to come here to go hunting from 80 to 83. This was my hunting grounds was out in Katy.
Really.
And seeing it now, I'm living in a house that used to be where I used to go hunt.
That's crazy. I mean, you look
amazing.
at, you got rooms to go, you got Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
I understand the oxymoron behind all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there should be some concentration and some preservation around it. The ruralization plan is what my new presidential campaign will be based upon. Just to keep our children going outside and doing those kind of things, because I think it's so important. The lessons that are learned, seeing the stars, smelling the doing the whole thing. I think it's extremely. I know it's extremely important. I can feel it in my soul.
No, it absolutely
And it's
is.
just, it hurts me to drive and just see more and more just strip malls and stuff like that. It just, something's got to change.
It is, and
So
some
thank
of
you
the
for what you guys are doing.
Well, I appreciate that, you know, and hopefully some of the people that, you know, are listening to this, they're getting their kids and their grandkids out there, because I know that some of the greatest joys that I have is watching my 2 sons and eventually my daughter, you know, growing up in the field and, you know, watching them shoot their first duck and harvest their first deer.
Well, and
you
the
know.
misnomer is this is all about a bunch of old guys going out and shooting guns. This is about preserving
Yes.
everything and getting kids out and getting them involved and enjoying nature.
If your daughter's
and
out there
doing what's
cleaning
right.
cleaning a duck, I
And
mean,
it's boys,
she will
girls,
talk-
it's everybody. Yes,
she will talk
100%.
about that over and over
Yes.
to her kids and just perpetuates. You stop it. It just, it just becomes something else.
Yep.
Right? It's just,
And
it
as Ducks Unlimited, we are beyond grateful for what you have done here at Republic Boot Company for your support, because we couldn't do what we do without local businesses like you supporting us. So thank y'all very much for what y'all
Well,
do.
thank you for
Thank you for being here.
It's a big deal.
Cheers to you and Doug.
Here's to a
Simmons.
great
It's
partnership.
Thank
You guys are amazing. We love you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.